Body Nerd, and happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of Let Me Tell You About How to Take Care of Your Body. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why foam rolling isn't necessarily the best way to take care of your IT band and why it might not actually be doing anything at all. Hi, I'm Alexandra Ellis from aewellness.com. I'm the host of the Body Nerd Show podcast, and I help busy, active people just like you learn how to move well, maintain your body, and get stronger so that you can enjoy a life without pain. So, hey, to those of you watching, if you're tuning in live, hello. Let me know where you are watching from. I'll make sure I have my what is it called? The comments. That's what I'm looking for, the comments up so I can see what you're saying. If you're watching the replay, hey, let me know you're watching the replay. Clearly my brain is almost here. So let's dive right into what we're talking about. The IT band, right? The IT band. The IT band is this thick band of connective tissue that runs down the outside of your leg. So you can see it here. This is a very simplified version. In fact, the muscles on this person look like yoga pants. And I know they do have yoga pants that do look like this. And no, I don't have them, though I have always wanted them. So the IT band is that white thing running down the side of the thigh. And it actually starts all the way up at your pelvic bone. So you know at the front of your hip where you have that sharp point, if you bump it up against a table, it really, really hurts. Well, that's about where your IT band starts. And then it comes all the way down the outside of your thigh, going all the way past your knee and anchoring into your tibialis anterior. So it provides structure and support for the outside of your thigh. That's its role. And it oftentimes feels super, super tight. So if you have a tight IT band, or you know that you do, or you have tight hips, let me know in the chat that you are also one of those people. One of my first experiences with physical therapy was actually in high school. I played soccer, and I'm running down the field, and all of a sudden I was like, man, my knee really hurts. Well, let me just go get this ball. And it felt like somebody had just like snapped a rubber band, you know, when you like, pew, like that on the side of your knee, just pew, real hard, very, 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 very painful. I dropped to the ground, and then I started physical therapy. Tight IT band, they say, and that's about it. But here's what you need to know about your IT band, which is going to change the way that you take care of it, and why foam rolling up and down the outside of your thigh isn't really all that helpful. So your IT band, it's not a muscle, it's fascia. Fascia is a body-wide web of connective tissue that helps to give your muscle shape and structure. It provides a matrix for blood vessels and nerves and fat. Really, your whole body relies on fascia to look the way that it does. Without it, even your skin would just like fall to your ankles like a pair of oversized sweatpants. So fascia is super, super important. And the type of fascia that your IT band is called deep fascia. So there's a number of different types of fascia, and they are different because of how they are made up, like the chemistry, the chemical components of them. So your deep fascia is very, very tough, is very, very fibrous, because remember, its job is to support and stabilize. Corey says, not sure if it's tight, but I have hip, knee, calf issues due to scoliosis. So IT band, hip, knee, calf, you're feeling that continuous kind of sheet on the outside of the body. When we have any sort of imbalance, whether it's scoliosis or it's just, hey, I've been carrying a cute little baby on my hip for some time, that can create an imbalance, which might lead to IT band stuff, but understanding what's happening here is definitely going to be helpful. So I'm happy that you're here, Corey. So deep fascia, it's thick, it's fibrous. It doesn't have a lot of what's called elastin, which is the protein that allows stretch to happen. Elastin, your skin has elastin, right, and collagen, but that's what helps you to, do this. And my esthetician's probably like, oh my God, don't worry, I wash my hands. Because if your IT band was super, super loosey-goosey, imagine trying to think of something that we need. I mean, your desk. Like, you want your desk to be firm and not rigid. I need a better metaphor, but we'll just go with it, okay? We'll just go with it. If it's too rigid, right? Actually, if it's too rigid like your desk, it doesn't have any give and it can break, right? But if it's too flexible, like a rubber band, it doesn't actually create any stability. You wouldn't wrap a package in one rubber band and be like, whew, it's good to go. You use packing tape, right? Especially, remember that woven packing tape where it had that, the fibers running through it? Really, truly, that is what your IT band looks like, because it creates that stability for your hip and for your knee so that your glutes and your thigh, specifically your quads, don't have to do all the work all the time. Remember, your body is super efficient and it's also a little bit lazy, and it wants to do and be able to move you through time and space, exerting the least amount of energy possible. So if your glutes aren't doing their job, or if you are always leaning to one side and there's this imbalance between hips, right? If for whatever reason, overuse, underuse, misuse, injury, your hips are not doing what they were designed to do, hey, guess who's going to pick up the slack? Your IT band. It's going to say, I got this. I'll take care of you. All things are fine here. And so your IT band feels super, super, super tight because it's trying to do the job of what your muscle should be doing. And remember, here's the biggest difference between fascia, especially deep fascia, and muscles. Muscles can contract and they can relax. Fascia can't do that, right? It doesn't have those contractile proteins like muscles do. That's why they're different. They're different tissues. Yesenia says, is sciatica pain connected to IT band issues? Your sciatic nerve comes down your lower back. It comes through, I believe it's L5, S1, probably L4. So it's through your lower back. It's a bunch of branches come and they come together to make the sciatic nerve. It comes down through your butt and down the back of your leg. So yes, it could be one contributing factor in and amongst all kinds of things like tight hips. So if your hips just in general are tight, I would say look at the whole hips. Is the IT band a part of that? Yes, but working at strengthening the entire hip region in a balanced way is super, super important. And I'll talk more about that in just a second. So your IT band, it's not designed for stretch. So all of these IT band stretches, and I did them too in soccer and high school, like, oh, I'm stretching my IT band now, make sure you stretch it. It doesn't stretch for all the reasons we talked about, right? It doesn't have the ability to stretch. It's just not a fabric. It's like canvas, heavy duty Kevlar. It's not made to stretch. It's not spandex, right? Like some of our muscles or other types of fascia are. So it physically cannot stretch, but you might be like, but wait, I feel tension when I try to stretch it. So what is that? So your IT band, and there's another type of fascia that is a transitional layer. So it exists between layers of tissue. So it exists between your skin and deep fascia. It exists between muscles and their deep fascia. It's called loose fascia, and its role is to allow that slip and slide to happen. So if you take your arm and you grab a hold of your skin and you pull it up and down, you can feel how there's a definite stopping point. That's because of your loose fascia. So the IT band sits right on top of the outermost quad muscle. And I'll show you this picture again so you can see it. So the outermost quad muscle, and I haven't even named it on here, but that is your vastus lateralis. And so what you really want to do is make sure that your IT band isn't stuck to your outermost quad, that they're not pasted together so you feel this restriction in your IT band. So it's not necessarily that your IT band is tight and needs to be lengthened. It's more so that it's stuck and restricted because it's pasted to your outermost quad, which is why rolling a foam roller up and down the outside of your leg doesn't do anything to help to restore that sliding relationship of IT band and quad together. So instead of rolling up and down, and this is going to answer your question, Yesenia, what do I do instead? So stretching, not super effective. And in fact, in cadaver studies, they like basically took the IT band out of the cadaver and just pulled and pulled and pulled, and it stretches to about 3% of its length before it ruptures. So it does not stretch. So Things to do instead are mobilizations of your hips. So if you're having things like sciatica, if you're having hip, knee, calf issues, make sure that your hips have the flexibility to be able to move all around. How do you do that? Check out my YouTube channel, aewellness, for a bunch of videos to help you improve hip mobility. But just flexibility isn't necessarily going to help create more stability. Remember I said the IT band gets tight when your glutes aren't strong enough, or maybe they are just imbalanced and they're not pulling their weight. Then your IT band will say, I got this, and get super tight to create stability. So yes, hip mobility, working on increasing your flexibility, but even more important is working on your strength and your hip strength. This is why inside Movement Mavens we work on mobilizations and activations. The mobilizations help to free up any of that stiffness, that buildup of collagen between the layers of tissues that are limiting your ability to move pain-free. We work on that, and then you activate, meaning you ask the muscles to contract in good positions to help you retrain your brain and rewire your body to move in a more efficient way. So things specifically for your IT band. I'm standing here at my standing desk. An easy one is just to balance on one foot and then hike your hip up and down. This is called hip hikers. And on my YouTube channel, this video is there that'll help you to walk you through how to do it and how to stabilize and strengthen the outermost muscles of your hips. So Corey, that would be really great for you. And Yesenia, absolutely. If you've been having sciatica and nerve pain in that way, that will also be another good way. Rolling, mobility, what do I do for the IT band? So instead of rolling up and down the outside of the thigh, what I like to do is to use small therapy balls, thanks for the thumbs up, on the outside of your thigh. So have them be vertical, just like that white line of the IT band. So you're laying on your side. This video is also on YouTube. And then you work on freeing up, you're going across the thigh, sort of like you're tracing across the top of a, what are they called? Cargo pockets, right? So going back and forth really slow and thinking, just like we did here, of trying to create that shear, that slipperiness of the IT band and your deeper outermost quad. Because that stiffness is dehydration. We talked about hydration on this week's episode of the Body Nerd Show. And hydration, in addition to all the things I talked about on that podcast episode, if you're not giving your body the signals, remember, it is use it or lose it. If you're not giving it physical input, hey, I need hydration here, all that water you're drinking right now is just going to continue to pass through you. So the mechanical stimulation that happens from massage helps to create more hyaluronic acid, which in turn helps to improve that slipperiness between the different layers of tissues in your body. All right, so lastly, what I want to say, and let me know if you have any questions on what I've talked about or specific about your hips and your IT band. What's going on? We've already talked about this. It might not be just because of your IT band. It might be because something happening in your lower back or your core, or maybe you have a stiff ankle because you sprained it a year ago on one side and that's affecting your gait. This is where a full body maintenance program is so important, because you're looking then at all of the body areas that are contributing to how you feel and making sure you're clearing out the cobwebs, you're helping to rehydrate what needs to be rehydrated, and most importantly, you're retraining your brain how to move better and feel better without pain. Because here's the other thing that I think sometimes we don't talk about enough, is that pain is like right here in front of your face. If you've ever been in pain, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It is just like fully takes up all of your attention. It's like the annoying 3-year-old just like, hey, 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 all the time, right? So when you're not in pain, when you feel stronger, when you feel better, you will be unstoppable. Just think of all of the things that you could be doing or that you want to be doing that you might not be doing now because you think or you're worried that, but I'm going to have to pay for that later. So if that in itself isn't enough motivation to want to start to think about a body maintenance program, and maybe you just start with your IT band right now today based on what we've talked about, and you head on over to my YouTube channel and you go ahead and do those videos and exercises. Start there, and then when you're ready for a full body maintenance program, make sure you come on back and we'll get one set up for you. But for right now, in the meantime, what you can do is head on over to aewellness.com/bodywork. And actually, this is going to be your most targeted way to go. What you're going to get is my free bodywork, what is it called? Starter guide. There we go. And inside this guide, I walk you through the 6 places you definitely need to be doing body work for the greatest relief. So hips are on there, lower back is on there, feet is on there. So bada bing, bada boom, you got a full body maintenance plan. And also, but wait, there's more. If you want to do a live class with me, I have one more session of Tackle Your Tension Live. It's happening next Saturday, so there's still time to sign up for that. And you can find that at aewellness.com/tension. So there you have it. We're going to be smarter when it comes to IT bands. We're going to just promise me right here, say, I commit. I am not going to steamroll my IT band anymore because now I know how to move better. Yes? Oh, Yesenia, you are so super, super welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So now that we know better, we can do better. And instead of steamrolling our IT bands, we are going to roll smartly, and we're going to mobilize, and we're going to activate. And most importantly, you and me, my friend, are going to change the unchangeable and enjoy every single day with less pain. What do you want to see more of? Comment below and let me know. Also, make sure you give this video a thumbs up so that more people can find it, and definitely make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you'll get notified every time I put out a new video.